What's going on, gamers? Man, so we got some stuff to talk about here. AGN is about to show you once again that out of all the content creators you've been watching, who was right again. You're going to start seeing that a lot. Yeah. If you can see it, you can't, right? All right, so it says right here, Lutnick says 10% baseline tariff will stick around for foreseeable future. That means that China that was probably going to get hit with 125% because this was a tactic, by the way, to get them to bend the knee. 135%, 145% is now down to 10%. So what this means is that Microsoft needs to lower all of their prices. Oh yeah, like I said, they jumped ahead. Sony was wise this time because they didn't jump ahead. There was an agreement that was literally made between Trump and China, and the agreement is that it's a 10% baseline right here. Commerce Secretary Howard, said Sunday that a 10% baseline tariff rate on imports from other countries is likely to be in place for the foreseeable future, echoing President Trump's comments from days prior. We expect a 10% baseline tariff to be in place for the foreseeable future, told CNN, Dan Bash, on the State of the Union. We're going to get back to more of this in a second, but let's go over here, because this is going to say a lot about what I've been telling people. Nintendo didn't jack the price up because they didn't see the tariffs affecting in America. Sony didn't either. Microsoft was the only one that did that. What did I tell y'all? Bam! Oh yeah, man. You only see this a lot. Are we ready? What did I tell people in this video? In Cambodia, that's another base they're doing. Vietnam actually reasoned with Trump, according to inside intel, and what recently happened not too long ago. And that, according to what I understand, if there's reason, there's only a 10% hit. And a 10. What did I say? According to inside intel that I understood, if there's reason, there's going to only be a 10% hit. And that their base was in Vietnam too, and Vietnam is fine. It's not even being affected. This was more about what's left with China now for Microsoft, why they did that. And now that got hit all the way down to 10%. So if they were wise, they would come out and apologize and say, we're lowering the price as a misunderstanding. Correct? Because it was anti-consumer behavior, and they knew that wasn't the final effect. And that's what I've been telling people, that no, that's not the way that it works. We don't have the official price yet. And so people were saying it's in effect. I'm like, no, dude, it's not the real price. That's a strategic move. And he was wise for doing that. Because now you get everyone to bend the knee and reason. And then that means the consumers are not going to get hit with an insane price hike. That's better for everyone. But people didn't see this game in the long term. But that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to argue with any more idiots they can't see. And also people who want to grift too and make up stuff talking about Nintendo is going to say that they're jacking up the price. All of you that did that, yeah, you look like a bunch of idiots now. Because like I said, that wasn't going to happen. Get yourself educated first. But of course, you don't want to do that because you just want to make money off of people and grow your sub base. Nintendo sees 10%, it's like, oh, we'll take that, that's nothing. But if they start seeing, it going a little bit crazy, like maybe like 70%, 80%, 50, 60, is probably going to start worrying them big time. Because they never sell hardware at a loss. That's just historically the way things work. But yeah, if they see something like that, they're going to adjust. So they're letting you know we're not jacking up the price because there's no tariffs really affecting us. That tells you a lot about Microsoft jacking up the price of their hardware. But you want to know why Microsoft is also doing that? Because where is Microsoft manufactured mainly at? Watch this, y'all. This is so you can understand this tariff situation better. I told everybody everything you needed to know right here. Manufacture base. Just do this, y'all. Xbox consoles are primarily manufactured in China by companies like Flextronics and Foxconn. Right, whereas Nintendo has a large portion in Vietnam. And they knew those tariffs were not affecting them, so they didn't really act upon that. I'd let you know that there's something true about that. Because if you think they couldn't jack up the price, they would. Oh, yeah. So what I'm saying is that Microsoft jacking up the price for USA and for America because they were looking at that fake number. And I was telling them it's not a real number. But they acted upon it like it was. And I was like, that's not real. Things could end up being reasoned with and everything go down to 10%, like it should. And it's exactly what happened. Oh, you're defending Nintendo. This and this and that. Oh, it's Nintendo's fault. I'm like, dude, at that point, I don't want to deal with any more cheap blah, blah, blahing. Because that's all that is. It's herd hive mentality. Yeah, don't want to hear it. You see what I mean? While manufacturing has shifted over time, China has become the central location for Xbox console production. So it's not even an American company doing Xbox production. It's in China. Mm-hmm. Intel manufacturing, or initial manufacturing, sorry, I don't know how the hell I said that. Shift to China. We see this? Current Xbox consoles are primarily manufactured in China by companies like Foxconn and Flextronics. But with the tariffs are paused over here, though. But yeah, I mean, you see what I mean? So there's a difference here. That hit is going to be harder for sure. They're going to be able to avoid it because Nintendo was smart. It says Nintendo has strategically moved some of its production away from China to Vietnam and Cambodia. Guys, NVIDIA also just literally is establishing a base specifically in USA. You wouldn't be doing that if tariffs were bullshit, so they're not. The stuff that we were calling out is people taking advantage of it without it actually being in effect, and people giving the gaming community the actual number and showing them, hey, look, it's actually going up by 75%. So this is the number right here mathematically, or content creators need to do it as well and get it out there so people can understand, okay, this is how it works. Now we understand that. So if something happens, we don't have to doubt it unless we see weird behavior, like jacking up the price when they're paused. Here we go. Days later, we have the number, 10%. See? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sit down. Don't say anything again. Mm-hmm. You'll keep that profit though. Okay. So we get the idea here. Now we have our answer so we can understand this shit. Because if it's affecting your paycheck, you know what I mean? You need to understand how these things work. That's why AGN is doing this for you. Like I said, content creators need to do this to help out people. People are lazy. They don't want to do that. And of course, politics is annoying. But I'm not getting into the boring stuff. I'm just literally telling you how things work. We're not talking about anything else except how things work in the gaming world. So we can specifically see why these corporations make the moves they do, why also people sometimes in the gaming community can be stupid and delusional, and then they won't self-correct themselves either from being wrong when other people were right, you know, like me, telling you the truth, like I was telling people in this video. So yeah, 10% is literally what it is now. So now that we have that answer, what that means is that Microsoft should not revert back to everything they just did. Just go back to what you were originally priced at. Say you made a mistake. Are they going to do it? I want you guys to let me know what you think about that, because I seriously think they're not. Sony outsmarted them again, and they're winning in USA along with Nintendo, who's about to take over again. So this just makes them, like I said, they're dumb. Like, they literally just made themselves look very foolish now at this point. We're going to look at some more stuff I said, because everything I've told people in this video is literally happening right now. In a country that you're in, where you mainly sell. It doesn't make any sense. Because it's not in effect yet. So you made up those prices. We don't, you guys get what I mean? Like, we don't have a number. Like, if you told me, oh, okay, and when Chinese products come into America now, it's going to be this percentage. We can go back to, look, tariffs, China. Look, it's simple. Let's just do this. See? China agrees on trade consultation platform amid sky-high tariffs. It's 10%. Remember, it was at 145% before. Look at that, 145%. That's what, see, but that's a good strategy move. But look at what happened when they reasoned it down. See, it's all about saying you need to reason. You know what I mean? So just knowing that these guys, you know, reasoned is just really good for everyone else, because the only people that are really going to get screwed over more than anyone, because they already have trillions of dollars and hundreds of billions of dollars, both of them do, you know what I mean? It's the consumer. So that's where I see that as being positive. It's in effect right now immediately, and it's not paused. That's right. You see what I'm saying? Like, if that was the case, then yeah, what the hell? And this is the page that I was on. And also, you're the richest company in the world, and you never drop the price anyways. You could just never drop the price the rest of the generation. So there's really no that's what I'm saying. There's really no comparison of certain people blaming Nintendo too when they didn't jack the price up of their new hardware with new games, and Microsoft jacks up the price of 5-year-old hardware almost. You see what I'm saying? Like, that has nothing to do with anybody else with them. They decided to do that. Boom! With what tariff percentage? Gotta call out the fanboys, you know what I mean? Because they're just trying to fanboy and damage control for a $1 trillion corporation. Get their cock out of your mouth. You see what I'm saying? That's my thing with this. So are we ready to get over and go to Dreamcast, guy? Because here it is. Nintendo confirms Switch 2 price increase coming. So what happened? Did the price increase? We're gonna go to this last part of this video. Look at what I said right here. We're gonna go back to the beginning real quick so I can tell you so I can show you what I said. This is just to prove to you guys that I know what I'm talking about. I do this all the time. I've been doing this my whole life. Always schooling people. I got our answer here. This wasn't about watching this holy, but this is more about just giving you the idea that he had the truth in front of his face, but he wanted to spin it into that title like that. And it's like, there's no concrete reality or evidence for any of this. As a matter of fact, it seems more than likely the exact opposite. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Pony, sit down. I know you're in here. The exact opposite. It's unlikely to happen. What happened? It didn't go to the extreme high increase. It went all the way down to 10%. I know what I'm talking about. And then right at the beginning of the video is what I said. What's going on, gamers? So in this video, I got to call out Dreamcast guy's grift. The reason why is because it's misinformation. And all the other people that said Nintendo's increasing the price, you did the same thing. Right here it says Nintendo confirms Switch 2 price increase coming. Microsoft needs to drop the price. Man. See, man, yo, why? Why do this? Why do this? PlayStation 5, $1,000 in 2025. Where does it say that at? We ready? Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa says if tariffs change, read this really quick. If tariffs change dramatically, let's get you the truth. They will have to raise the price of the Switch. So he said dramatically. That's like that 100 and something. You know what I mean? It's 10%. And even where they're at in Vietnam, it was 10%. So they never needed to touch anything. They're not stupid because they're not going to, they have too much pride to make themselves look that stupid. It makes Microsoft look even more stupid because nobody else did it in the USA because we're waiting on an actual number and they're $1 trillion corporation. It's unnecessary. Like he said, they would like to popularize the Switch 2. That's their priority. That means that's what they're going to be doing for a while. If the assumptions regarding the tariffs change significantly, that means that, yeah, like I said, highly unlikely to happen if we understand what's going on here. So if we knew that, we needed to be honest with the people, not gas their head up with stuff, you know what I mean, and make them think that that's going to happen so we can get more hate towards a company when really it's not real. It needs to be genuine about something they actually did. I can't stand this type of behavior and then defend Microsoft, who's the one that's doing wrong out of everybody. Like the worst, you know what I mean? Because it's like, no, you're the only one that's doing that in the USA. So it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like this is why you don't want fanboys doing content, because it's a perfect example of what I'm showing you here. And all the stuff that I got attacked for because of that. But yet I was right the whole time. So let me know what y'all think. Sit y'all punk asses down. That was wrong. I ain't finna just say ponies. Y'all can sit down too. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day. Life is still good. Gaming is paradise. Peace.